In this video, we will learn how to use the Logisim software. So we want to go to this website, sourceforge.net/projects/circuit, and just click on download. Download will start shortly. Then we can see here that it is downloading. And now it's completed. Right, so if we go to our downloads folder, downloads will have the software here, and we can just double click, and that will bring up the Logisim software, and this is what it looks like. So what we're going to do today is learn how to create a logic circuit, and I'm going to use this as the example. So here I've got 3 inputs, A, B, and C, and I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logic gates, and I've got my expression down here. So I've got B ANDed with this A or B bar ANDed with B or C, and then I just do some Boolean algebra, and this reduces down to a simple AND gate. So we start off with A, B, and C. We've got 5 logic gates, and then after we do simplification, it turns out we only need 2 inputs and 1 logic gate. So what I want to do is build this in Logisim and verify the truth table. And so the truth table, we should get a 1 whenever A and B are both 1s. We'll get a 1, and then any other combination will give us a 0. Alright, so let's get started. This is actually a really very user-friendly tool, and so what I'm going to do is I'll move this out of the way. That way you can just see where I'm actually drawing the circuit. So first thing we want to do, we can go ahead and just save as, and just create, just call this whatever we want to call this, Boolean circuit. So Boolean circuit, and it's going to save it as a .circ file, and I'll just save that in documents. So just call it whatever you want to call it. So the way this works is over here on the left you have your components and wiring stuff. So basically we've got pins, although we do have some pins up here. There's some like shortcuts. I'll just kind of show you the way I would go about doing this. So I know that I'm going to have 3 inputs, A, B, and C. So what I'm going to do is use this add pin here. This square is input, and this circle is an output. So I'm going to need 3 inputs. So I'm going to click on that for pin, and then down here it kind of gives you some options here. And so if I go over here, I'll just go ahead and left click. And so it says facing east, output no, because this is an input, 1 data bit, and the font I could change. So there's some different things here you can do, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And then I'm going to need 2 more of those. So I'm going to grab 2 more, and I'll put that one there, and I'll grab another one and try to evenly space them, I think about there. And what I like to do is just add a text box, and let's label these ABC. So I'll do A, and that really needs to be bigger, so I can come down here and change the font size. I'm going to use, say, 24, and then I can click this arrow here, and that way I can move it around. If I left click, I can move that around. So I've got A, and then I can do the same thing, or I can just copy and paste this, but I'll just click here, and I'll do B, and I'll change this to 24, and then I'll click this arrow here and put B there, and then do the same thing for, oops, not that, I want a text box. So text box, do C, and we'll change this to 24, and click on this left arrow or this arrow to move it like that. So now we've got our inputs A, B, and C. All right, so now we're going to need some logic gates. So I'm going to definitely need a NOT gate, and again, you've got some information here. It's going to be 1 data bit, and that's going to be fine. So I'll basically just left click there. So now I've got an inverter, and I'm going to need 2 OR gates and 2 AND gates. So if I click on OR gate, by default it has 5 inputs, but I don't want 5 inputs, I just want 2 inputs. And so I'm going to put that OR gate, let's put that, say, here, and I'm going to need another one, and it remembered the 2 inputs, and so now I'm going to put this one just kind of below it, and I'll need a couple of AND gates. So I'm going to have a 2 input AND gate that will go, let's say, here, and then I'll need another one here. Let's say that'll be fine there. All right, so now I've placed all my logic gates. So now what we need to do is connect everything up, and I'll need an output pin. So let's grab the circle, which is an output pin, and that will be our output. You can also use an LED. So if we go to input output, you can also grab an LED here. So I'll do that as well, just so we can see it turn on. And I'm going to make this, you can do an on color, this on color, I'm just going to make this, let's say, kind of a blue, bright blue. Okay. Now all we need to do is connect everything up. And so when you move your cursor over the component, you'll see a little green circle, and that basically means that you can connect there. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So B is going to go to the inverter, and the output of the inverter goes to the OR gate there, and A goes to, oops, A goes to the other input, so there. So I've got A or B bar, and then B goes to this OR gate as well. Okay, so B goes there, and then C goes to the other input here. Okay, and then the 2 OR gates are going to connect to the AND gates there. Okay, and then the AND gate is going to connect to the top input of this AND gate there, and B also goes to this input. So I come back here and I need to connect B there as well. And so, oh, and then we need to connect to the output. So we connect the output there, that's the logic, and then this will be the LED there. Okay. So that is it. That is our original expression. And if you recall, we had the simplified, we had AB, we had just an AND gate. And so we can actually do that on the same schematic. We can just add an AND gate here, and that AND gate gets A and B. So we'll connect to A. So we'll connect to A there, and B is there. Okay, and then we can put an output pin. We can put an output pin there, and an LED there, and then connect these. Okay, and let's maybe make this one a different color. So maybe a green, like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and save this. And so that's all there is to it as far as using Logisim. You've got your input pins, your output pins, you've got your logic gates, and then you just wire it all together. You can play around with the different attributes of components and things like that. But the other thing that's going to be really useful is for us to label pin numbers. And so you'll need to reference your 74 series pinout chips documentation that shows you the pinouts, but I happen to already know the pin numbers. So what I like to do is go ahead and just add text boxes. So I'm going to use for the inverter, I'm going to use pin 1 there, and I will want to make that bigger. So maybe like 32. Okay, 32. That might be a little too big. Maybe like 26 there. All right, so I can use a text box and put a 1 there for the pin number, and then I can do the same thing here for pin 2. Make that 26. Click on the arrow to place it properly. So like that. Okay. So that's for my inverter. Then I've got I've got 2 AND gates, 2 OR gates, and then a third AND gate here. And so you just basically do the same thing. So you can copy if you do a Control C, Control V, you can basically copy that and put a 1 there, copy and paste, put a 2 there, copy and paste, and this becomes, you come over here to text, this becomes 3, and I'll go ahead and save this periodically. And then I'm going to use 4, 5, 6 for the bottom. For the bottom OR gate. So I'm going to use 4. And then, oops. Yeah, sometimes this gets a little weird. So now it's selecting both of them. So I'm just going to delete this. Try it again. So I just want to select one at a time. Alright, so that will be 4. And I'm going to save this. And let's try this again. Grab there. So this will be 5 here. And 6 there. And then for this AND gate, oops, that did it again. Sometimes it's a little finicky. This will be 1. Alright, so let's try this again. Just grab there. I did it again. Let's see. Yeah, it's selecting both of them now. So there's something weird there, so you just have to be careful. Make sure you just select the one. Alright, so that's going to be 6. And then for this AND gate, I want to do 1, 2, and 3. So let me just add a text here. This takes a little longer, but I don't want to get that mistake again. So I've got a 1 there. And I did it again. Alright, I guess I'm just going to do them individually, because sometimes it just gets a little weird. Alright, so 1, and I'm just going to make all these 26. So it'll take a little bit longer, but I won't make that same mistake. So 2, okay, and then move this around. 3 goes there. Change this to 26. Use the cursor to move it. And then I'm going to use 9, 10, and 8 on this last AND gate over here. So I'm going to have 9. Change this to 26. 9 and 10. Change that to 26. 10 and 8 here. Change that to 26. And then move it. Right. Okay, so that is it. I've got all my pin numbers labeled except for this AND gate. So for this one, if I wanted to use the same chip, then I could just pick 4, 5, and 6, because I'm not using 4, 5, and 6 for an AND gate. So I could do the same thing. There. Okay, so there's 4. And oops, 5. Oops. Try that again. 5. And move that there. And then 6 there. All right, and so there, I've got them all labeled now. So this 4, 5, and 6 doesn't conflict because this is the OR gate, this is the AND gate. So the same thing here with the 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is it. And so the way you simulate, so this is how you build the circuit, right? And then the way you want to simulate it is you want to click on this change values. So this thing here that says change values. And so right now, 0, 0, 0 is giving us a 0 output. Okay, and if you recall, the simplified expression, okay, was A ANDed with B. So the only time we should get a 1 is when A and B are both 1s. When A and B are both 1s. So 0, 0, 0, A and B are both 0, so we should get a 0. 0, 0, 1, okay, 0, 0, 1 is still giving us a 0 because we need A and B to both be 1. And you can see what happens is these highlight bright green and dark green to show you 1s and 0s. So you can trace the value throughout your circuit from left to right. What about 0, 1, 0? 0, 1, 0 also gives us a 0. 0, 1, 1 gives us a 0. And then if we go to 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 gives us a 0. 1, 0, 1 gives us a 0. And now if we go to 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, I've got A and B both at 1. So you can see that I get a 1 and then my LED turns on. And same thing for 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, I get a 1 and the LED turns on. Okay, so this is how you can test a logic circuit using Logisim. So it's pretty easy. Just go download it, download the software from the website, and then bring up a new schematic, and then just add your input pins, add text boxes to describe what each thing is. So like these are A, B, and C inputs. Oh, I guess I could have labeled my output if I wanted to there. So I could call that like X there, just to be consistent, so that my input's labeled X there, and maybe I call the other one Y there, and so we do that. Okay, so I've got X and Y, which these should be the same values because these are equivalent circuits. So this is logic circuit, the original, and then the simplified is just the AND gate. So as you go through all these combinations, you should get the same outputs for both X and Y. Okay, so this was built just using input pins, logic gates, wires, output pins, and LED. Okay, so a 1 will turn on the LED, and a 0 will turn. You got to go back here, change values, make sure you click on change values, and then a 0 will turn off the LED. Okay, that's going to be all for this video. Want to keep it kind of short and just show you the basics of using Logisim.